Hello, and welcome to Through the Groove, episode 1. Through the Groove, this weird little music podcast, YouTube video series. I don't know what we're calling it yet because we haven't really got a definition for it. We're hoping that these few videos that we're going to do 6 opening videos describing what this channel is.
1, 2, 3,
it's
4,
6.
5, 6. Oh yeah, 6.
6. Yeah, I pay attention. We're going to be doing
for a change.
We're going to be doing 6 intro videos explaining what the channel's about, what Through the Groove is, hoping that it not only describes it to you, but also kind of defines it for us, because we don't really know yet. All we know, it's a conversation between me and Hannah about music.
It seemed like a good idea when we'd had a few gin and tonics at Isle of Wight.
Yeah, it seemed like a decent idea. This is a very...
And I actually forgot I came up with the name.
With the name, Through the Groove.
And then when you came up with the name, I was like, I don't like that. And you were like, you came up with it? And I went, oh yeah, I like it again now.
You were a fan of this idea once you realised it was your own, which is my life.
Fuck off.
So yeah, the first 6 videos, we're going to be uploading them Monday, Wednesday, Friday this week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday next week, and then after that,
who knows?
We're aiming for weekly Monday videos, ideally. But we don't know. We've got a whole different range of ideas, from album reviews, funny little music games, all sorts of weird shit.
So if you're missing Mock of the Week, basically just tune in here.
So, video number 1, episode number 1. What are we talking about?
Our relationship. And music.
There we go. We got there in the end. It's written down right there, but we didn't get round to it.
Well, we were meant to prep some notes, and all we have is some silly little doodles of our logo.
Yeah, we've not really prepared for this. We're just winging it. We just
set up an Instagram account and then just hoped it would work from there, really. So if you're not following us on Instagram,
so music and our relationship. So what defines our relationship? Do you think music defines our relationship? Do you think that's why we're doing this in a way?
I think it has a very strong part. Like, let's say 70% music, 20% alcohol, and 10% actual really liking you.
Yeah. If it wasn't for the music and the alcohol, then this relationship would be dead in the fucking water.
So how did our relationship start? Because kind of music is my understanding of how our relationship started was more of a conversation through music. Because obviously we knew each other from uni. Well, you hung around with us but didn't speak to any of us. It's a bit rude.
I didn't really like you. But then I figured out that you actually liked music.
Yeah, but you didn't really talk about music until like after uni. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, Hannah, guess what? I like Jake Bugg. Haha.
God, you're painting me out to be a right wanker, aren't you, already? This is a great start.
We've got to get the facts down first. So you twat. So it did start because it's like we started to become really good friends towards the end of uni. And then, obviously, with the big 21st birthdays coming up, I just bought you a ticket to go see Jake Bugg. I mean, it kind of forced our friendship to stay together after uni because, it was November of the next year.
Yeah. So you're kind of like securing me in your back pocket of friends from uni.
Yeah, pretty much. I was like, you are going to be in my life. You are going to come to this gig with me, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, and then it kind of turned into something completely differently.
Yeah, circumstances changed.
And things go the way they do. And we end up...
Arctic Monkeys released an album and we spoke about it quite
it was like, wasn't it? It was 2013, yeah.
Yeah, so when, Arctic Monkeys' arguably best album came out, potentially.
Second best.
Depending on what kind of Arctic Monkeys fan you're talking to. Also, depending on what kind of mood you're in, because different Arctic Monkeys albums play at a different point. But we're going to come on to Arctic Monkeys in a whole different video.
Yeah, let's move on from that before we get too carried away. But yeah, you took me to Jake Bugg, my first real gig.
We'll also come back to what your first gig was when we talk about Daryl's music journey.
Let's ignore that for now. But yeah, the first real gig I went to. Outside of an arena, in kind of a small, where was it? O2 Academy?
It was in Birmingham, yeah.
O2 Academy.
Yeah. So then we booked another fucking gig and went to see Vampire Weekend, which neither of us really cared about, and both wasted about...
that was
how much
funny.
was it? That was probably about 40 quid going to a gig we didn't really care about, doing stupid dancing and having too many pints.
Yeah, I didn't really like Vampire Weekend. It was just out of the options you gave me. You gave me options because we went to see Jake Bugg. Jake Bugg was good. I liked it.
Who were the other options?
There was 3 options. You said MGMT,
BDI,
BDI,
which hindsight probably should have
done BDI.
Yeah,
and then Vampire Weekend. But I hadn't listened to BDI that much, so I didn't really
Yeah.
care.
And
And
you know-
GMT, I was like over it, but Vampire Weekend was the one I knew the most. Yeah, so we went to that.
Yeah, it's good.
We thought that would be a good idea. We didn't really watch it though. I think we were more interested in one another. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, from then on, like
Well, that became our anniversary.
that became our anniversary, yeah, because that's when we officially got together.
Yeah. But previously, we were, I was going to see Arctic Monkeys in Birmingham. You were going to see Arctic Monkeys, but we weren't going together. That gig got cancelled. Then you ended up going with your friend. I went with our friend Laura. You had fucking shitty seats, and we were in the mosh pit.
Yeah, you were at the front, weren't you?
And then after, when we went to the rearranged gig, it was they bought out tickets to go see them in Finsbury Park, and at that point we just bought tickets, no questions asked, and then it was a bit like, oh shit,
That was
that's
like a
in
commitment.
May.
Yeah, that was a commitment.
That was 6 months down the line,
Yeah.
and we'd only just decided to be in a relationship. Like, that was a big deal.
So from the get-go of our relationship, music has like punctuated it.
Yeah.
Especially in those early years. In those early years when you were dragging me to loads of different gigs.
Yeah, because literally, like, before we were together, I was like, have you listened to these? No. Oh, listen to this, listen to this, listen to this. You didn't listen to any of them because you're an arsehole.
Why do you throw offence at me for not listening to some spurious indie band that nobody's heard of?
It's like talking to a wall. It's like, oh yeah, give me some bands to listen to. It gave me some bands to listen to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like the Black Keys. So 1 band out of 10 that I gave you to listen to.
Yeah. What's wrong with that? I'm sorry I can't even remember what the others you gave me to listen to.
It was a lot. It was when Dropbox was a big thing and you just used to whack it in a Dropbox.
There was a lot. You had a lot of information and you dumped it on me.
Yeah.
See, my appreciation of music was a little bit different. It wasn't. You were more obsessed with the new stuff, whereas I'd found what I liked and kind of stuck with it.
Yeah.
But
on the whole, you're more
eclectic. I
you're
listened to
broader than
everything.
me.
Yeah. Whereas you were like pretty.
You don't listen to everything.
I listened to a lot more.
You don't listen to gospel.
Oh God, fucking hell! I'm sorry.
I hate it when people go, I listen to everything. Do you?
I listen to a lot. I'm interested in a lot of different ones.
Yeah, I kind of stick a bit more in the realms of rock and indie.
Yeah. And that's what you had. You had a very like deep knowledge of that, like that
One
kind of genre. Whereas I was more a bit wider, not as wide as gospel or fucking Beethoven.
Panpipes.
I'm sorry, yeah, I wasn't into South American panpipe bands at that point, but yeah, you kind of introduced me to a different way to look at music. I think, especially new up and coming artists, and
which then brought us on to going to your first festival. Which was Latitude, which we spoke about previously on Daryl's old channel.
Yeah.
When we went to Latitude last year, because we didn't go this year.
Last year's Latitude. Latitude, first festival that you took me to. Yeah, it's been a bit one-sided, this whole music thing in the relationship. I think it has played a big part because it's, for me, I have different different albums and different songs remind me of different points in our relationship. So like listening to James Blake, what's the album called?
Overgrown?
Yeah, Overgrown, the one that won Mercury Prize that year.
Yeah.
I remember listening to that driving to Vampire Weekend.
Yeah. Well, that
Because
came out the
yeah.
same time as Arctic Monkeys and Disclosure did.
Yeah, and it won the Mercury Prize that year, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you pointed me towards that. I listened to it, really liked it, and then that was my like driving soundtrack there and back. So on the way back from Vampire Weekend, having confirmed our relationship, I was listening to that. So that always reminds me of that moment.
Yeah.
And it being cold and driving with the windows down and the heaters on and stuff.
Yeah.
It always reminds me of that. And then after that, it was the whole Birmingham scene that once we got together, we were obsessed with going to Birmingham, and then we were obsessed with going to gigs in Birmingham.
Yeah.
And getting obsessed with that music scene, listening to Peace and going to see Jaws and going to see Peace and other.
Going to see Peace.
Yeah, going to see Peace a lot.
Yeah,
there's a lot of music from that
there was
area.
a lot of gigs in Birmingham at that time, and especially because there's quite a lot of venues. So you've got like we were going to gigs at Sunflower Lounge, which is a bit smaller. Then we started branching out a bit more, and then when our working patterns not necessarily giving us the opportunity to go to certain gigs, we were looking at different venues. So then we started going to Coventry, Nottingham. So we then expanded our venue reach, because actually
I think
we have a car. And
yeah, so we just drive to a lot of places.
we're so used to driving an hour, like an hour to get to Nottingham's nothing, an hour to get to Manchester's nothing. So if we can't go see bloody Slaves on a Saturday in Birmingham because you're at work, we'll go to Nottingham on a Tuesday. But
no, I think like those early years, man, with music especially going to live gigs, it was just very intense.
Yeah, we spent a lot of money.
We went to a lot of gigs.
It was at least every 2 weeks.
A lot of bands.
Yeah.
And that was good. That really, like...
Yeah.
It was a... I don't know how to explain it. It was kind of a good foundation for that relationship, for our relationship now.
Because it's like, oh my God, this has come out, or this has come out, oh, have you heard of these? And then we'd go to Latitude, Lake Stage... mainly we'd find all these new bands. Like that's how we discovered Blossoms. Like four years ago we discovered Blossoms, and then
I'm still holding on to the fact that I found Blossoms and played them to you and you fell in love. That is the only time it's happened that way around. That is the only band that I've found.
Time?
I think so. I don't think I've found any band and other band apart from that and gone, listen to this, and then you become obsessed.
They're bloody good though, aren't they?
Like you're obsessed with them now. I don't think it's happened to any other band.
Blossoms like earmark a lot of things. Like, obviously, we saw the Latitude and Why Not, and that was the 10th year for Latitude, 10th year for Why Not. Then they didn't bring out that album until I had my jaw surgery, and I remember us literally pre-ordering the album while I was staying overnight for my jaw surgery. And then
didn't I pre-order it?
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
I pre-ordered
and then
it
like 2 years later, like another album comes out around the same time, so it's like, oh, actually these are almost
I forgot I did that
milestone things in my personal life. But
I think that's what it's been like. Music, I think music in general is always like a reminder to your life, I think to everyone in general, and I think especially because we've got very similar tastes, it's also kind of punctuated our relationship. It's marked milestones in our relationship as well.
Yeah, I mean, music has always been a massive thing for me anyway, and I think for a lot of people, like, it's easy to get on with. Like, people seek sad songs when they're feeling down, or they want clarity in things, or if they want to feel good, or, you know, summer, you can make a summer soundtrack. There's a lot you can do with music, and I think it'd be very hard to find someone who doesn't like hearing it because it's just so pleasant. But just obviously our interest in music runs a lot deeper than that, and because our relationship essentially started that way, it's kind of been a very strong running through the whole of it.
Theme throughout our relationship. Yeah. I think you gave me a life before through music that I didn't have, but I wanted in a way. I always admired looking at people that went to gigs or seeing like live shows and wishing I could have gone to them. And then in my head, in my mind, my fucked up brain, it was like, I can't do that because I'm not near anything that does that, and it would be too difficult for me to go and do that. But it turns out it's not. No. It's really not. It's one of the easiest things to go and do, to just go and see a live show.
Yeah.
And you showed that to me, and it became, I don't know, the hallmark of our relationship.
Yeah, I mean,
just going places and seeing live music.
I mean, I'm very lucky because where I live, it's like I've got the train that will take me to Birmingham. Like, I'm right on the M6. So where I live is very accessible to get to places. Where you live is, you know, your local train station takes you to Derby and Crewe.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's not
ideal.
Like I hop on the train to Birmingham and then I can go see anybody. Like, I can remember when I was like 13, 14, like me and my mates, like, I say mates, Sophie, we go to Birmingham and we went to see like Bombay Bicycle Club. You know, it was never a question. We were like, we're going to Birmingham, like the old Barfly down the high street. Like, it's mad how, like, I remember going to a gig with Emma, getting all the way down there, and it's like, oh, the venue's changed. I was like, where the hell's this venue? And this was before like smartphones really started taking off, so you could get your map up and look. I was like, oh, I don't know Birmingham that well. And because of going to these gigs, I then got to know a city, because I'm like, well, I want to go to this gig. How do I find it? Like, we discovered more in Nottingham because of going to Rock City and the Bodega, and then we were like, oh, we made a day out of it. So then we got to see, you know, the country we live in rather than just the few cities that surround us.
Or the shitty town that I live in. Because it's weird. It's like around here, there's like, you put up a wall around yourself and you think Birmingham's inaccessible, or even Nottingham, like, it's not that far. And I think
it's because for you, you either have to drive, or you have to get two trains. You have to change. Like, your nearest music venue is the Sugar Mill, which isn't a bad one. We've been
It's
to a
not a
few
bad
good
one,
gigs.
yeah, it's good, yeah.
But you have to drive, and if you don't drive, then
Well, you're not screwed. I think on my part, it was more not realising how easy it was, and then you just kind of made me realise how easy
we're going to see the Magic Gang.
it actually is, yeah, and how cheap it is as well. That was another thing. I was always like, oh man, it's so much money, but really for the smaller gigs and the smaller bands that are coming up, it's relatively cheap. It's not that bad. It's just between £15 and £25 for a ticket.
I mean, it's not like £8 back in the day.
Yeah, but it's cheap, and it made me realise that it was more possible to go and see that kind of stuff and live that life. I always liked it though. I always liked music. I always liked finding new stuff, but I never knew how accessible it kind of was.
Yeah.
Until you were like, oh, read Enemy, and then we went through Enemy. And it's like, oh my god, look at all these bands.
Then Enemy died.
yeah, God, let's not talk about that. I could go on a right fucking rant. I just need a solo rant about that. Jesus.
Enemy. Oh, used to be such an empire. I used to love getting Enemy every week for the On the Radar. Tell you all the new songs that were coming out. Like if you didn't stay up and listen to like Annie Mac every night or like Hugh Stevens, you could read it at your own leisure, and that's what I liked about it. It'd give you the album reviews, it'd give you your gig reviews, like,
and that kind of fell away.
And became nothing. And all I want to talk about is Alex Turner's haircut.
I know. Oh, and shitty articles. Like the Why Not review. Oh, for fuck's sake, that Why Not review. Sponsored by VO5.
You know what?
The most beautiful festival in the nation. Bullshit.
Let's just talk
bullshit.
VO5, predominantly a shampoo brand, sponsoring a festival where you won't wash your hair.
Yeah, weird. I think I don't think it's sponsored Why Not. I think it sponsored the Post. It was an advertisement.
It makes no sense.
It was horseshit. But yeah, Enemy, the demise of Enemy, I think has also played a part into what we want to do now a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like Enemy has left a vacuum for exposing new music and talking.
I think,
and having some sort of media there that talks about music in the way that it did.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're not going to be like music journalists and be speaking to slaves or something like that. We don't have that capacity. But
I mean,
not yet. but it's missing, and I think that was kind of the need to bring this up, and I think us two doing it works especially well because of how much music has played a part in our relationship, and we always talk about music. I'm
like, have you seen the Slaves video? Have you seen this? Have you heard of this?
And then we'll critique it. We'll pull it apart.
We'll sit and have a conversation like this, just without the camera there.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like we thought we might as well start recording this and see if anybody gives a shit. I mean, I hope they do. I personally think we have interesting conversations. I think the more
and if people don't give a shit, well, we're not saving money. We're not saving money.
We are spending money.
That's it.
Yeah, that's. I think that's music in our relationship. It's always been there.
Yeah.
Always been a part. I mean, I think because I now know it as well as you. Probably, maybe
like
not.
The whole throughout the year, we're like, oh, this album's so good. This deserves to be Mercury Prize. Remember that. So when the Mercury Prize creeps up another month forward, as it does every year, we can go, oh yeah, Georgia Smith will be nominated, or oh my god, this Arctic Monkeys record, or oh my god, this, oh my god, that. But then there's always some wild cards that we never quite catch. So next year, we want to go for a solid 10 out of 13 we get. We were really poor this year.
I don't even bother.
I did. I was trying to do it on the train, and it literally took me the whole 40 minutes, and I still only got 10 predictions.
It's a shame. But no, I think because music has been such a mainstay in our relationship, it's time to do something with it. And I think with you doing your blogs and stuff, or when you used to do your blogs, I think it's time to bring you back and get you talking about it again, because I think you've got important things to say. And
nowhere to say it.
And you got nowhere to say it, and you always say it to me, and we always have these conversations about it.
Yeah, like for me to write it down and type it, sometimes I get in my own head about it, but if I can just have a conversation about it, and someone, like, you can watch it or hear it or whatever, like, that makes more sense. Like, a big thing for us has always been, like, kind of promoting these, like, newer bands, or getting more people, like, who's getting behind these people now, what BBC Sound of 2019 and these minor festivals, like where are the radio stations and the people promoting, like, these bands that are trying to get somewhere? And
is that what part of this is what you want it to be? A little bit, bringing new music to the forefront. I think that's a good idea.
Don't get me wrong, like, there's some bloody good acts out there that are well established, and we'll still talk about them because they play an integral part.
Yeah, but there's also I think we've seen there's also a lot that don't get that recognition, and hopefully with whatever we're doing here, we can kind of bring that up.
I mean, we will always have album of the month.
We will, even though it's been like that since April. But let's not talk about that.
Daryl's other channel, that's
going through a revival.
If you like games, tune in.
how do you think, because we've spoken about music at the beginning of our relationship. So what about in the past 2 years?
I'm
not asking about your music tastes. I'm asking about how music has played a part in our relationship in the past 2 years, as opposed to at the beginning. Because at the beginning it was very much a defining factor of our relationship, I think. But in the past 2 years or so, I don't think it's dropped off or anything like that.
No. I think I
just think it's taken a different form.
Yeah, it's not just me bringing stuff to the table, it's you bringing stuff to the table. It might, to a certain degree, it's like, your friends at work might have said, listen to this, and I'm like, okay, cool. We've got other people in our lives, some of our friends are very interested in music and they bring it to the table, even going to festivals with our friends that we've not really done before, and seeing some people they like, and just having that conversation, being able to have a conversation about music has always been something that's we enjoyed doing, even if it's not necessarily we like the same music, but it's interesting to see. Yeah,
and talk about it.
And I still think that I'm let's book all the gigs and festivals we can. We were going to go to Hungary this year, and then couldn't get the time off work.
I could have gone.
So we went to the Isle of Wight instead and spent £1,000. Yay! Great. Totally worth it though. 100% go back. Book me my ticket now, or give me a ticket now.
So you think that our quality of conversation has gotten better over music? I think it has, because like you said, I've gotten
different taste as well. Even you playing FIFA, and I'm like, oh my god, is that Tom Grennan on there? Oh my god, listen to that. Seeing smaller artists becoming more mainstream in a sense, getting on things like FIFA, even being on Love Island, you know what I mean? Seeing artists that
is a nice thing,
and I like that. I like thinking, oh wow,
you almost feel a little bit proud because you feel like Declan McKenna. We were touting Declan McKenna for a long time, and then he brought that album out, it blew up. He got a song on FIFA. I'm like, yes, dude. Yes, well done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's really nice to see.
Or even the simple Hollyoaks. I'm telling you now, the opening credits for Hollyoaks, just as before they start actually getting into the acting, just as they're setting the scene,
killing each other and having fairs.
Standard Hollyoaks. They have some bloody good bands on. They have some really good artists on, and it's nice to see. We've heard Maggie Rogers on there, Georgia Smith, and I'm just like, oh my god, they're pushing. And I suppose in a sense they are pushing new music, but do people recognise them? And then
makes you wonder. Yeah. So I think that's it. That's music and our relationship. That's episode
1.
Uno.
Oh, we're doing different languages now.
Yeah, we are. Of I don't know what Through the Groove is in French. Or no. That's just doing it in an accent, and it's probably
we all know that I can't do
slightly racist. So episode 1 of Through the Groove, music and our relationship. How kind of scratching the surface of how music has
scratching the record.
The surface of how everything in our life and our relationship and our romance is kind of
hardly romance.
It's kind of got a foundation in music.
They are the breeze blocks.
They are the breeze blocks.
Alt J breeze blocks.
They are. Yeah, they are. Yeah.
That wasn't even the right tune.
No, we'll move on from that.
Doing a music podcast, and
we'll move on.
Saggy clothes and breeze.
So
la 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 la.
Jesus Christ. This is going to be a hard fucking slog. So come and follow us on Twitter at
Groove
Through, because apparently Twitter don't like you to use
Through the
Grooves too long.
Too long, and then I don't know. So Twitter at Groove Through. We'll put it on the screen. Instagram Through the Groove. We're on Facebook as well. Just Through the Groove. We haven't really set that. Just that should be fine. Channel. Yeah, basically we're all on we're on any social media. Not Google Plus though, because no one uses Google Plus. Yeah, all the social medias. Subscribe to the channel.
like the video, give it a thumbs up, share it with people that you think might like whatever the hell we're doing.
And if you've got some sort of idea how we can make this better,
yeah, give us some ideas, because we're honestly like running short. We've got 6 so far and we're already down 1.
Well, we've got technically 26, but that's for another day.
That's for another day, yeah. So yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Well, we'll be wearing the same clothes.
Yes, we will.